to the cold, she said. It'll be fun, she said.
But she was definitely not me.
Yeah. It is super cold here today. Wow.
Yesterday and the day before that and the weeks before that, but we're still here. You can tell. I feel like I'm a bit like Michelin Man. This isn't even snow gear.
Yeah, I know. It's
anyway
been crazy. We've actually come from Canberra.
Yeah, so we're no longer in Canberra.
We had -5 degrees in Canberra.
It was bloody cold.
Yeah,
hey?
it was real cold.
It was.
See,
so
we're from
cold.
Queensland, so we're pretty soft, but it was really cold.
But just so you guys know, you give me so much crap.
Here we go.
About
Here we go
me.
again. Yep.
Oh, she puts on a jumper and it's 25 degrees. You know what?
Look at it.
I thought I was going to be the one who would whinge and carry on and be like, oh my God, I can't do this. I want to go home. It's too cold.
Here we go.
Yeah. Who's whinging about the cold? And I think we need to head north again before we go to Tasmania. I don't think I think we've seen the snow. We're good. Yeah. This one, not me, because I'm prepared. I'm wearing like 3 or 4 layers, so I'm warm.
She's wearing like 5 layers.
I'm wearing 4 actually. I wonder why I'm cold. He's wearing a t-shirt under his jumper. He wonders why it's cold.
It's all right.
Anyway, back
so
to
as
the
you can
video.
see, we are not in Queensland anymore.
We haven't been in Queensland for yonks. Come on.
But we're in a really, really pretty place that we're going to bring all this to you in a future episode.
Yeah, so not today. So today we are going to focus on something that we hadn't actually planned to do in Canberra. We had talked about the weights of our caravan and the car, which we had not got weighed with the Ram when we got the Ram.
Is it going to snow?
No, it's just starting to rain because, it's not cold enough. But anyway.
But yeah, so look, when we're in Canberra, and we're going to bring this to you next week, Canberra, but when we're in Canberra, we got the car and the caravan weighed again.
And that was just by chance, wasn't it? Because we just, as you do, you chat to people around and they said, oh, there's a weighing person coming into the caravan park and you should give them a call. So we got their number and they said, oh yeah, and conveniently enough, they were actually parked up directly opposite our site. And instead of us actually having to move the van and the caravan just across the road, they just bought their gear and just sort of did it at our site, which was bloody brilliant.
It was really, really good.
So easy, and they were amazing.
So we were getting numerous questions about, the weights of the car, weights of the caravan, and we're on quite a lot of Ram forums, Ram 1500 forums, and we were reading a lot of posts from people saying that how they were overweight and how the Ram has a really low rear axle.
Yeah, it was all about the rear axle and people telling us that, oh, you guys are over, you guys must be over.
Yeah, and the GVM of the car, and we thought, okay, well, we should probably just put all this to bed and put all our worries to bed and just get it all weighed.
We had done all this prior to leaving and we were guaranteed that, not guaranteed, but we were told, you guys should be right.
Yeah.
But we never got that final weigh in before we left because we ran out of time.
Yeah. So we, just to give you a bit of background, so with the Ram, we haven't got a GVM upgrade, have we?
No, so we didn't get any of that done. We just got the airbags in.
We got airbags in the back and we use a weight distribution hitch, which as you'll see in a minute has been
that's the
terrific.
Saving grace.
So I want to give you a couple of where we're at and why it works for us. Again, in these forums, people say the Ram 1500 is no good. You got to go to 2500 if you want to tow anything over 3 ton and all this sort of stuff. And it was like,
how do you want to be getting truck license and all that stuff?
No, and I guess when you read stuff from people, you got to take it with a bit of grain of salt. So and also we just didn't have the money to buy a Ram 2500. We
were already out of pocket with the whole mucking around, as you guys know from previous videos.
So we obviously want to be legal, we want to be safe. So we do have all the details here of where we're at, and overall it's really terrific news, isn't it?
It was such an exciting day because I was adamant that I got sick and tired of being the whole, oh no, she'll be right, it'll be good, I'm looking forward to this, I think we'll be all right. No, I was like, there's going to be something that's over or something that we have to do just because all the dramas with the car and the caravan that we've had.
I just got to get the snow off the...
It's not snowing, it's raining. We're sitting in the rain.
It's cold enough to be snowing. But anyway.
So these people are called Your Way.
Your Way.
Mobile Vehicle Weighing Service.
And they're in Canberra and they go to Canberra Park.
Well, no, they're not from Canberra. When they come down, they actually go to Canberra Park. They've been there, I think she said 14 times they've been there now. So they don't actually live in Canberra. I think they're actually further north. I can't think of where it was. But anyway.
It Wagga Wagga? I don't know. Anyway. But anyway, we saw Debbie and Tony there, and every weekend they're at Canberra Park. and they actually weigh people's caravans. And they had this steady stream of people coming in.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah.
We watched them. They were there for the 2 days, and it was just a constant stream, one after the other, and they timed it so well, and I don't know, they were really, really good.
Yeah, so we decided to get weighed. So I've got all the details here, and I think it's going to interest all of you where we're at. Now, do we need to move just out of interest?
Just also want to point out that I did say we probably should go under the cover because there's rain coming, but he said, no, we'll be right.
So let's just do a cut.
But we are going to cut.
And I think we should go...
going under the awning.
Yeah, because it's getting a bit wet, so...
It's called rain. Remember your wife told you that?
3, 2, 1, cut. Boom.
All right, and
How
what
clever is
lessons
that?
have we learnt? Listen to your wife. Anyway, so we're back under shelter now. And it is starting to really rain, so I'm glad I put the washing in as well. So back to the weighing. So,
okay, so let's do it.
Yep.
Back to the rain?
Back to the weighing.
Right, the weighing, okay.
The weighing. So now, so we got their name.
Yep, so your weigh, and we saw Tony and Debbie.
And they are really awesome people. They've been doing this now for a few years.
Yep.
They obviously get quite busy. Like we were saying just before we cut it off before, they were really busy for the both days.
Yep.
We were lucky last on the second day, and we were so grateful they could just bring the gear across to the next site rather than us moving our whole rig, because we were still there another, I think, 3 days after we got weighed.
Yep. So if you're in the Canberra area or around the Canberra area or travelling through or whatever, just get in contact with them, your way.
And just find out when they're there next, because they're not there every weekend. I know you said that. They're not there every weekend, but they do stints where they come to Canberra for weekends, and when they do, they are fully booked both days that they're there.
Yeah.
So I reckon call them, even find out where they go, because obviously they go to other places because they're not from that area.
Yeah.
Just because they bring it all to you,
yeah,
it's so easy, and you get a printout. We haven't got our folder because I've lost it somewhere in the caravan, but you also got a digital copy.
Yeah.
That's why Tim's reading it off his iPad.
Yeah.
So if you're concerned about your weights and stuff, I reckon check these guys out because they're amazing. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at the caravan first. And we had no worries about the weight of the caravan, and we were pretty right. Okay, so the big Desert Storm, okay, we've got an ATM. So an ATM is how much the van can weigh fully loaded. The ATM of our Desert Storm is 4.5 tonne. So there was no way we were going to get anywhere near 4.5 tonne.
No.
All right, so fully loaded. Now bear in mind we are carrying quite a bit of excess stuff. But we use quite a lot of it.
The main thing's the extras on the van.
Yep.
Was the bikes. The bike rack with the bikes.
Yep.
The extra solar on the roof.
Yep. All the batteries.
Extra battery system.
The massive suspension system.
Yeah, all the airbag suspension.
All our clothes.
So they're all the big extras, I guess, on the van, and then you add in all your stuff, your personal stuff.
Yeah, we've got 3 big water tanks.
But then all their clothes, we've got the Thermomix, we've got the keyboard, the electric scooter.
We've got lots of stuff.
The big sandwich maker. And yeah, all the little bits and pieces that you add up, it's all weight.
So we could get up to 4.5 tonne with 100 litres of water on board. Yeah. We came in at 3,893 kilos. So that means we had an extra 607 kilos. Yeah. So we were never going to get anywhere near 4.5 tonne, and we've got 607 kilos there, so that's all sweet. All right. So and also the guys at Mobile Way said that Your way, that's right.
Your way.
They were really surprised at how balanced our van was, because I think this also came down to Justine being really meticulous about where she puts stuff. But just to give you an idea, we got obviously a dual axle. Our front axle was at 1784 and our rear axle was at 1776. So that's pretty good.
I'm impressed. I'm very proud of myself.
Super balanced.
Yeah.
And that's obviously one of the reasons why it just travels so well. So that comes down to A, the way Justine loads the van, but also B, it's just beautifully made. So
I think you just got to be mindful, because you think about how your van's made, where the heavy spots in the caravan already are before you actually pack it and go, okay, you've got a rough estimate on how much things are going to be weighing, but then put them in the places of the caravan where you know there's nothing heavy. So that, I mean, we do think about where we place stuff, and I'm super excited that it came in the way it did, because I know now I have peace of mind that we're packing it correctly and we're actually really balanced.
Yeah.
More so than I imagined. I didn't know it was that good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, the other important weight for the caravan, obviously, is the tow ball, because the tow ball goes onto the car. So, again, just as far as the van's concerned, we knew that we weren't going to be anywhere near this weight. So, our tow ball can be 450 kilos because we've got the big DO45
Yeah.
on the van. It came in at 333.
Yeah.
It's still fairly hefty, though, isn't it?
It is still heavy.
So 333, that gave us 117 more kilos that could go on the ball. So, and again, we've got bikes, we've got barbecues, we've got diesel heaters, diesel tanks, everything, the big toolbox.
We carry a lot, yeah. And we've got the slide in the
So
front.
again, it just shows you how well balanced the actual van is. So as far as the caravan goes, it was perfect. All right, really, really good. So we're really happy about that. So the area that we were concerned of, obviously, was the ram.
Yeah, it was the rear axle on the back of the van. And
Yeah,
the
so,
ram.
okay, so give you a bit of background. So the GVM is the maximum the car can weigh fully laden. All right, so not being connected to the caravan, so just by itself, with all of us in there, so the two dogs, us, Riley, all our stuff, the GVM of the car can go up to 3450.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we don't have a GVM upgrade, obviously. So, get a GVM upgrade, that could obviously be a lot more, but we're at 3450. So, our actual weight of the car came in at 2981.
Yeah.
So, that means we had 469 more kilos that we could play around with. All right.
Yeah, which came in better than what we thought, to be honest, with the car.
Yeah. So it was actually. So I was really happy.
It was much better. We had pretty worst case scenario,
Yeah.
but it ended up coming in really good.
Yeah. So in the back of the car, just to give you an idea, because we are a bit worried about the back. We were a bit worried. We don't really have anything of major weight in the back.
Yeah, in the very back part of
Yeah.
the tray. Up the front, we have a few things at the back of the tray, up near the cabin.
Yeah.
But that's it.
We carry our tables and our chairs. That's just a few little things. So that's probably about it. So 469 kilos. So bearing in mind, so the tow ball mass is 333. All right. So when the tow ball goes onto the car, what happens is that the tow ball pulls the back of the car down. All right. And when it does that, some of the mass that's on the front axle gets transferred to the rear axle. All right, so basically, we do a few things to alleviate that. All right, so on the rear axle, you can have 1,770 kilos on the rear axle. All right, so now when there's nothing on, so when the van wasn't on the car, we had 1,352 kilos on the rear axle. Mm-hmm. That gave us 418 kilos more that we could put on the rear axle. All right, so it's looking good so far, all right, because we know the tow ball was 333.
There's lots of greens.
Yeah.
Green everywhere. It was great.
Now, when the tow ball went onto the car, now, what you got to understand is the tow ball mass is super important because you have to count it twice. Once on the ATM of the car, and then on the van, and then on the GVM of the car. So it has to be counted twice.
Yeah.
So when the tow ball went onto the car, our whole weight went to 3314. So again, our GVM is 3450. So we're under that by 136 kilos. So that's great.
Yeah.
So our GVM is looking really good. It was always going to be the rear axle that was going to be the problem. Okay. Bear in mind, we do use a weight distribution hitch. Okay. So when the van went onto the car, the rear axle went from 1,350 kilos to 1,731 kilos. And that's because we got some weight transferred from the front axle onto the rear axle. But bear in mind that we can go up to 1,770. So we're still under by 40 kilos.
Yeah.
All right, and we're under.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were pretty much at our max at that time. We had fuel, we had gas.
Yeah, we packed everything up.
We had diesel, we had everything. So, and that was with the weight distribution hitch. Now, weight distribution hitches, I know people either hate them or they appreciate them. I think we're definitely in the appreciation stage.
We've always had them.
Yeah, it's always a pain in the neck to put them on and to take them off.
Yeah, we don't like them. We don't
And
like them in that fact.
we also know that if we go on dirt roads, we've got to take them off and all that sort of stuff. But
Yeah.
without that weight distribution hitch, okay, the rear axle would have been over by 30 kilos.
Yeah, by 30 kilos. So once we put that on, that lifted up the weight back onto the front.
So basically, not ideal. I mean, we're still close to 1770, but we came in at 1731.
Yeah.
All right, so still 40 kilos under. The weight distribution hitch moved 90 kilos from the rear axle back onto the front axle.
Yeah.
So
we're very glad that we have them.
Yeah.
And, it's another reason why, and it's also another reason why we didn't get the upgrade at the time.
Yeah.
Because that was a suggestion to us that's what would help us be level and make everything the way that it should be, safe to travel.
So, and also bear in mind, so as we use the fuel in the car, these weights get better.
Yeah, and then obviously if we don't have full tanks of diesel or full gas, it's going to go up and down a little bit. But when we got weighed, we made sure everything was full because we wanted worst case scenario, which ended up being best case scenario.
Best case scenario.
So we're really happy now.
Yeah, so, obviously we would love to be able to not use the weight distribution hitch if we could. But the thing is, we have to use it because if we don't, our rear axle will be over.
Yeah, and we don't want to be doing any damage to anything or driving unsafe.
And speaking to Ram, I spoke to the guy who sold us the Ram. He said Ram actually recommend using them. So, so for us, it works really well, really well. So
yeah, so we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So we're really pleased that we did do it because I know there's lots of people out there that either love them or hate them. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has something to say. They always do, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, and obviously we've been fairly focused on weights. If you want to go back to our previous videos.
Yeah, you'll see the previous ways that we've done and how hectic that was.
Yeah.
I think that's why I was a bit nervous about doing this final way with our final rig that we didn't get a chance to do because I was so concerned because last time I thought we were going to be okay.
Yeah.
And it was an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
So it was a really good feeling to have the feedback that we were getting. So I guess, you learn from previous mistakes and
So those of you who, have got a heavy caravan, and you have a tow bore weight of under 350 kilos. I think if your tow bore's over 350, a Ram 1500 might have a bit of a struggle, especially if you don't want to use that weight distribution hitch.
Yeah, and if you don't get the upgrades.
But it's only very, very, I mean, our caravan is up there in weight, obviously at 333 tow bore.
Yeah, we've got a lot of extras.
So we do. So for us, the Ram is terrific, and we absolutely love the Ram, don't we?
We actually don't think that we would be going back to anything again. For so many other reasons, which, I think down the track, people really love how Ram and ask so many questions. We might do another vid, I think, on the Ram, inside and out, and, how it's tracking and stuff with the van and our travels. And there's a lot in that Ram that people are asking about. So I think we will probably do another little short video on that for everyone who's asking.
And there is this one more bit of weight we haven't spoken about. That's the GCM. The GCM is the gross combined mass of the car and the van.
Yep.
So our GCM allowed with the car and the caravan is 7.237, so 7.237 tonne. We came in at 6.874 tonne. So we're still 363 kilos under there too. So
we've got room to move.
And we could also put some more water in the van if we wanted to.
Yeah, which is another bonus because when we are doing that sort of off-grid camping, we now know that we could probably put some more water in when we get close to camp.
That we could probably be full with water.
Yeah, that we can fill it up knowing that we're okay. I think we've been really cautious about that. So now we can actually put more water in if we know we're going off for a while.
So that was definitely a real relief for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm really pleased that we did it. I'm really pleased, this is another reason why you get out there and you talk to people around in the parks, because had we not known, if we had not chatted to those people that told us about it, we wouldn't have even known they were coming until they arrived, and then there wouldn't have been any spots left. We were lucky to get the last one on the Sunday. Yeah. So we're super grateful that we got there and they were coming that day. I don't know. It all worked out really well for us because it was definitely something that, in our minds we're like, we're under. We'll be fine. We know, we feel like we were right, but just to have that confirmation on paper is just a relief, knowing, wow, we've actually got room to move.
Yeah, and we're under.
Like it's just a really good feeling. I mean, it's not to say that we won't get an upgrade in the future.
No.
I mean, that's something we're still
I think
considering.
we would like to.
I think we've come to that point now where I think we'd actually like to get the upgrade. Do a bit more work to fund it.
Even if we just get a rear axle upgrade.
Yeah, like we'll probably look at some kind of an upgrade that we will do to the Ram in the future.
Yeah.
So that's something we definitely are considering. So yeah, we just haven't decided exactly what kind of upgrade and then what's out there to offer of what we want to spend, I guess, as well.
Yeah. So the Ram 1500 for us is terrific.
It's the perfect fit for us.
Yep. Yep.
It fits perfectly with the dogs in there as well, having the 2 dogs now.
Yeah.
It's just the room. But anyway, that's going to be, we'll do that in another vid.
For sure.
So
we are having lots of fun though, aren't we?
we are having an absolute blast.
Yeah.
Even though it's cold, we're still enjoying it. And it's like, I will probably be grateful when we've done this part, but I definitely recommend people to still do this because it still is part of the whole experience, you know, getting out into the cold weather. It's a totally different experience.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I find we do different things. It's just like anywhere, different environments, different places. It just, I don't know, it pushes you to go do something else.
And last week in Canberra, we met some amazing people.
Yes, we did. We always meet amazing people. That's what we love. That's why we love it.
We met the Air Bark and Bark people.
Yes, or the lady, Vicky from Air Bark and Bark. We're going to do a little vid for her. We actually did an interview with her. She's a really lovely lady. She's just retired and she's hitting the road with her dog and her cat, and she's got this business that she's been putting together. In short, it's just all about people travelling with their pets and travelling on the road full-time or even holidays, where you'll be able to join this particular site and actually talk to each other, but then share your pet minding. So it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to go and put them in your boarding kennels and things like that. And you sort of tally up with each other where you're going to be and, oh, hey, I'm going to be here, are you going to be there? Okay, great. You meet people and you can exchange that pet sitting. And not only that, it's really great for the dogs as well. It's kind of like we we're talking about saying it's about kids meeting and playing. The dogs get to have that community as well. So
there's an app that you can download.
Yeah, there's an app.
If you just look up Air Bark and Bark, and if all you guys are on the road, you have animals, this could be a solution for you, I reckon.
Yes. So she has got a subscription coming up, she said, in about 3 or 4 months. But we did an interview and we're going to throw that in, I think, next week, in our next week's video. So if you want to get more information about that, I just have a one-on-one with her and just chat to her about the business, where it's come from, why she did it, and then what people can expect. So next week's video will have a detail about that. But in the short, if you wanted to check it out, you can look up Air Bark and Bark. And she's lovely, really lovely lady. So we just love helping people out that we meet on the road and want to just spread the word for her because she's just sort of starting out with it all. So,
and we enjoyed Canberra.
Canberra was amazing. I think I'd go back to Canberra again. There was a few things that we didn't get to fully do. So I would go back there. Canberra's really pretty. It's a really pretty place. I think we got there the right time too, though, with all the changing of the leaves falling and everything. It's
and now we're well and truly in the snowy country, which we're going to bring to you as well.
Yes. So next week we'll keep coming. We'll probably be a little bit ahead of ourselves now and keep pushing towards the snow.
Yep.
Colder.
Yep.
But Riley's really excited. He just wants to get to the snow. He's so excited because we're almost there. We're almost there, Mum.
Yep.
So that's going to be really
I feel
exciting.
like we're there right now, personally, but it's really cold.
See what I mean? This is what I'm putting up with all the time. It is cold, but hey, you've got to be prepared. Put your jackets on and your beanies, and
it's not too much work.
It's more work listening to you whinge. We've switched places. He's the whinger now in the cold.
Yep.
I'm the whinger in the heat.
All right, mate.
Well, I reckon that'll probably wrap it up this week.
Short episode.
Yeah, it's a short episode. But next week and the week after, Canberra might be a 2-part. Not sure. Depends how much we've got together.
We'll see what we can do. I don't know.
We'll see how we go. But at the moment, this was all about the weights and getting your caravan and everything weighed. And so we are right on. So we're really excited. We can relax now.
Yep.
And I think that's just about it. We're going to enjoy this cold, sort of rainy day today by the looks of it. And head out tomorrow. Hopefully the sun will be out.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
See you guys next week.
See you next week. Directly above us. I love all the architecture here. It's absolutely incredible, this building. I'm going to try and point Tim down there with the dogs. That's where I was sitting earlier.
Okay, so it's a good picture, isn't it?
Oh, look at this.
Okay, so Cockington Gardens. First of all, I reckon hats off to whoever built it, because the models and the attention to detail are pretty incredible.
This guy. A flash in the what? I already know what it is. You can bring my other jacket. The seats are freaking metal. Why would you have metal seats?
They're not. They're just got
They're metal.
Yeah. Don't believe me that lead, the chemical formula for lead is PB, and that's because the Latin word for lead is plum bum. it's true.
I know I'll be okay, 'cause I found my way.